Hey there, Taylor Elwood here. And today I want to talk about a tough topic for men, but it's a really important one, which is breakups and how men deal with breakups. Today I had a man reach out to me. He was going through a breakup and he and I had interacted a little bit on Facebook, but he was just like, I'm feeling, I'm going through all this pain and I don't feel like I'll ever be with anyone else ever again. And I don't feel like I have a lot of value. So we got on the phone and talked. And I said to him, we connected. And, you know, here's the brutal truth about breakups when it comes to men and really divorces as well. Breakups and divorces are harder on men than they are on women. And here's why. When a woman goes through a breakup or a divorce, she's on the phone with her best friend. She's talking with her sisters. She's talking with her mom. She's connecting with other women. And she's got a network, a support community in place ready to help her get through that experience. Men, on the other hand, a lot of times only have a couple of male friends. And a lot of times they're reluctant to share what is going on because they feel like they're going to be a burden on their friends. So they actually won't necessarily share what they're feeling. So for a man to reach out and say, hey, I'm going through a really rough time is an act of bravery. And it usually means that that man is at a turning point in their lives. Now, speaking as a man who's gone through a few breakups myself, I will share the following truths too. If when you go through a breakup, you might feel like you're never ever going to be with another person again, another woman again. And here's the truth: you will down the line. And the key thing though is that you have to recognize that, like, going into that next relationship, you want to have done the work on yourself to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that you made with this relationship. It takes two people to make a relationship work, and it takes two people to make a relationship not work. So there are going to be some truths and some realities that you need to face as a man. One of those truths is that men abandon themselves when in relationships. So often what I've seen are codependent nice guys who are basically trying to do everything they can to please her and get her approval. And they do it at the cost of their own respect. And she senses that. And that's one of the reasons she leaves. Because a woman doesn't want to be with a man who's going to bend over backwards and do everything he can to make her happy. She wants to be with a man who's going to stand up for himself, who's going to speak for what he wants and needs transparently and clearly, and who's going to basically put himself out there and be willing to face rejection from her, because she's going to know that he actually respects himself enough. And that's a huge thing. But a lot of men don't do that. A lot of men will abandon what they want and need because they're trying to please her, because they don't want her to leave. And when she knows that you don't want her to leave, it's essentially, you put her on a pedestal. And no woman wants to be on a pedestal, just like no man wants to be on a pedestal, because when you're on a pedestal, it means that, like, you're constantly being put into a place where you're the one in control of the relationship, and that's not what is desired at all. For a man to show up effectively in a relationship, he has to be willing to lead himself. He has to show up knowing what his mission and his purpose is. And so when you're going through a breakup, a lot of times you're going to come face to face with the fact that you don't really feel like you have a mission or purpose in your life. And that is a normal experience to have. So here's what I want you to do today if you're watching this, or you're watching this a little bit later on. There's two actions I want you to take if you're a man going through a breakup or divorce. One, reach out to another man in your life. It can be me. It can be someone else. You don't have to go through this process alone. You don't have to white knuckle it. And in fact, it's better if you don't. You're going to be better for yourself and for the people around you if you reach out to other men. And secondly, what I want you to do is grab a hold of my free breakup guide for men. This is going to walk you through the first steps that you need to take to make sure that you're taking this breakup or divorce and going about it in the right way. There are certain mistakes you don't want to make. You don't want to get into a rebound relationship. You don't want to numb yourself with pain. You don't want to try and get back together with her. This is the opportunity and the time to work on yourself. And yes, it's going to hurt for a while, but that pain is also going to be your motivation. So get my free breakup guide for men. It's below, and start reading that. Reach out to me or to another man. You do not have to go through this alone. You don't have to go through this alone at all. We've got you.